Hello, how's it going, guys? Slashman here. To be honest, the reason I thought I'd do this is just to give my best back and breakdown for the UFC 310 card. I was going to upload a video on this, but I'll do a live stream first. Give the quick ones, then we will do a video afterwards. As you can clearly see on screen right now, I have my most confident ACA for the weekend, so I'm going with Shavkat. Monster, I think Monster runs through Aljo, Reyes, and Kenny Ocheku. Kenny Ocheku is a bit mad at 1 to 6 odds, to be honest. But I think he will still beat Lucas Bresky. Lucas Bresky got absolutely murdered by Mick Perkin in his, in his card. Like, we'll go look at the betting breakdown of both fights. I suppose it's, Kenny Ocheku lost to Hossein Peru. That wasn't a very, very good split decision. And then Dustin Jacoby finished him. Like, he's jumping up in weight. He's beaten Devin Clark recently, Aiton Katroba, and Chris Burnett. Now, Chris Burnett also blew his knee jumping. But Lucas Bresky lost to Mick Perkins. His only real win is Walter fucking Walker's brother, Johnny Walker's brother. I can't say his name, sorry. He isn't very good. good. Like, his win was a normal just tap of fucking, nothing really crazy. Cara Williams and Martin Boudet. When you lose to Martin Boudet and Waldo Acosta and get finished, and Waldo Acosta has power, but when you get finished by, when you lose to Cara Williams and Martin Boudet, does not really set you up for the best thing. Sorry, let me just stop the music. Doesn't really set you up for the best thing. I'm going to say Kenny Ocheku. Honestly, I'd say first round KO. I'm not going to back first round KO. Might go with no decision in the fight, but I assume there's no odds on it. Let me just go check what the odds are. I'm using Bet365 because it's probably the most universal app. It's actually 4 to 11. That is not bad odds. My light may just fell. That is not good. Let me just start that. 4 to 11, not terrible odds. Can you check who to get the finish? 5 to 9. Realistically, if you're making a safe ACA bet, I don't think these are bad odds. Like 10 to 11 for under 1.5, definitely not bad. That's my safest ACA, but if I was to make something along those lines, I wouldn't go against it. I think that they're fine. I think that they're pretty good. Jeez, my camera's actually really, really far up, so I never even noticed. I think that's really, really... Okay, can this move down? Let me just try and fix this. I don't know why the fuck this won't move down. Okay. Yeah, I think that's extremely good odds. I'll also probably upload a video on this, but I just think that's extremely good odds. You then hop into Clay Guida. Look, again, Chase Hooper's won the 12. I don't really have to talk too much about this. Chase Hooper will probably finish him, should finish him if he's really trying to make a move. Clay Guida is a legend, but he's 42 now, realistically. He's kind of gone past it. Chase Hooper's extremely tall for this division, for 6'1". It's just, wouldn't be too surprised if it starts off maybe Clay Guida going with his normal style to go brawl with him, but then Chase just takes him down, submits him. If you look at the odds there, realistically, to me, I'm not against the 2 to 5 for Chase Hooper's not terrible on odds, because there is some good odds if you're going to stack them in a knack. Obviously not separately. I'm not one of these American bettors that might, if you do watch this, I'm not one of these people that will throw €100 on something stupid like that to make like £2. Doesn't make any sense to me. But if you're acting it, I think that's a pretty solid one. So yeah, we'll go with Chase Hooper to win that. I honestly don't think there's any arguments on this. Max Griffin and Chiesa is an interesting one, because obviously Chiesa submitted Tony Ferguson his last fight. Honestly, I think Stephen Hawkins could get close to beating him at this rate. I genuinely don't know why Tony even still fights. And he lost to Kevin Holland, he lost to Sean Brady. These are all 3 years ago. Vicente Luque 3 years ago, and beat Neil Magny 3 years ago. Max Griffin, Jemiah Wells is not awful, but no, okay. Michael Moraes is 14-0. He beat Tim Means by decision. He lost to Neil Magny, and he beat Carlos Condit 3 years ago. Realistically, they're actually quite similar. I actually thought Chiesa was the older one in this fight. Wait, Max Griffin's 39. Okay, I did not know that. Right, that's kind of interesting though. Max Griffin's 30-9. Right. I was actually going to say you go with the younger fighter, but because that's Chiesa, I can get why the odds are so similar here. Now, again, keep in mind I'll probably be back on different apps. I just want to show it this at the original time. If I find better odds, I'll throw them into a video. I'm probably going to make after this, but for the minute, I just want to make a quick live stream just to go through it. So probably only be like 30 minutes, just because I'm then going to work on graphics and stuff. But I just kind of want to let's quick go into it. 5-4, no decision, no distance. That's probably a good bet if you're really looking at the fight. Chiesa's life for a sub, he always is. 23-20 isn't terrible. Max Griffin is in this fight. This is a real coin flip. If I was to really pick, I'd go with Chiesa, but I'm not going to say that that's Chiesa. I'm not going to say that that's the pick. I'm just going to say that he'd win it. I might stick away from this fight because it doesn't seem worth it to really back, but it's definitely close. Going on to the card. Now, this is an interesting one. Cody Durden versus Josh Van. Because Cody Durden, you know, he's picked up good wins. Matt Schnell, who maybe drank shots in the last one. Fuck Matt Schnell. And then he lost to Tupra Vojevic, Bruno Silva. He beat Jake Hadley's a very good win. And Charles Johnson, 2 good wins. Energy is extremely good. And again, Josh Van gets back against Edgar Chavez. Not a very, very good performance by him. He dominated him, but nothing really that, you know, mad. Charles Johnson knocked his fucking block off with that uppercut, and then he's beating Felipe Burns, Kevin Borjas, and Zalizgev. That's a big win. I just killed his name. I just absolutely butchered that, but that's a good win. I'll give it that is a genuine good win. I won't argue that. Good win. If I was to go with that fight, looking at the odds, Van's the favourite. Cody Durden at 13-10 is live. He's live. I wouldn't say that's bad odds. I don't see a finish coming in this fight. I say let's go with the decision. Honestly, my pick here would be Cody Durden. I think Josh Van looked very slow against Edgar Chavez, and Durden could cause some problems if he's able to get on the inside with the striking that he has. I think he could beat Josh Van. I'll go with Cody Durden. Chris Weidman, Eric Anders. This was meant to happen, I think, 2 months ago, and it was pulled off the card. This one's an interesting one. Another coin flip. If you're really, really going with it, Chris Weidman did beat Bruno Silva by decision. Well, a technical decision. He lost to Brad Tavares, Hall. That Brad Tavares loss is still in my head because he just didn't really look very, well, decent inside that fight. He didn't beat Jamie Pickett. Another coin flip. This will go to decision. I would assume. I'm going to say it's going to go to decision. I go with Eric Anders on a coin flip. Just Eric Anders. I really don't have much to say about it, but I say Eric Anders. Randy Brown and Brian Battle. Now, this is one of the ones I'm really interested in because I kind of think Brian Battle is getting almost too hyped. It was a massive win in France. I didn't think he had the better striking than Kevin Jorzette at the time, but he obviously did, considering he finished him. Because Randy Brown, he's lightning, to be fair to him. He is lightning. He has beaten some, he beat the King of Kung Fu, and that was a great finish. He's really beaten so good. He has great stand-up. His only real loss is Jack Maddalena, and he took JDM to a good fight. Brian Battle is kind of the man. His accidental light poke. He is a real finisher, Brian Battle. If you stand in front of Brian Battle, he will finish you. It's just one of those ones where is the hype maybe getting a bit too high on him? That the odds are kind of mad. I know 5-11, 9-5 Randy Brown. I don't really know how this fight goes. I don't really want to say anything in this fight because I have a feeling if I say Brian Battle's I'm going to be wrong. I think what I might back for this one is I think I might just back Brian Battle at 6-4 and throw money on. I'm going to just go 6-4, Brian Battle win. I'm going to keep the Saka up here just because I'm not going to get rid of it. That's my safest Saka for the week. I'm going to throw, what does 20 quid bring back? 20 quid brings back 56. I think that's what I might back for this week. I'm also my ultimate favourite and underdog and all that. I'll probably throw this into a video, but yeah, I'm going to slightly go towards Brian Battle. I think he gets the finish, but I'm not that confident. Mansourian Aliyah versus Aljo. To be honest, is there much point in me talking about this fight? He's 18 and all, and Salayev is just going to he's going to ragdoll Aljo. It's a bit mad that this Aljo fight was taken off the main card. I physically don't know how this got taken off the main card for, of all people, Coen Gracie, who literally is fucking terrible. He's the only man I've ever seen to get hit and pull guard. Ankalaev, it's going to be a decision. Why do I need to say anything else? No one's going to go for a finish. No one's going to look for it. It's going to be a 30-27 Mercer Ankalaev. There's no point to me saying anything. The fight to 6 round for decision, it's pretty decent. He isn't going to go for a finish. None of these Russian wrestlers do. The rest will fuck you into next week. Besides Islam, the rest will fuck you into next week for a boring decision. Then wonder why they're lower on the card because no one cares. But, you know, they always like, oh, why am I on the prelims? Because no one fucking cares. You're wrestling pure boredom. If you go wrestling, go for actual offensive submissions, fine. You're good in the good books. But none of these will. And no, it's just going to be a boring decision. What's the point? Now, Vicente Luque versus Temba Gumbo, the answer, I think it's an interesting one. Because I was high on Vicente Luque, but he did look poor in his last few fights. So he did beat Rafael dos Anjos, that was a good win. But then the other losses that he took, Jeff Neal, the finish to Joaquin Buckley, did not look good. I'm going to be realistic. I don't think Temba Grimbo has really beaten anyone in his MMA career. Like, his wins are Nico Price, who also, you know, took him to decision. Robbie Lawler knocked him into next week. Ramez Bahami, who got absolutely finished on the weekend. Peter Rodriguez, he actually finished, who's 5-1. And Tetsuya Sairo. It's nothing crazy. I don't want to say that I think... do I think Vicente Luque wins this fight? I don't think Grimbo's beaten anyone that good. I'll give it to myself. I don't think Grimbo's beaten anyone that's that madly worth looking at as such, to be honest. I'm cautious to pull the trigger because every time I pull the trigger on Vicente Luque, he probably will get finished. I think no decision at 6-5 is probably one of the best bets there. Like, if you were to throw that in, just hold on, I'll take away the best ACA for a minute and bring it back. Hold on. If you were to throw this and say you go with the Chiesa fight for no decision at 5-4 for the odds that you get, it brings back nearly 4-1. I'd have a fiver on it for 25. I'd have a fiver on it. There's a good chance of that landing. Realistically, they're two arguably hard fights to call, but two fights that could easily have a finish. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm just going to say there's going to be a finish. I'm not picking out a straight winner. I'm not, because I know if I say Vicente Luque, he's going to step in there, somehow get finished. So I'm just going to say there will be a finish in the fight. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to say anything. Dominic Reyes, Anthony Smith. Dominic Reyes is back. You know, he finished Dustin Jacoby. Smith has been realistically a Victor Petrino is probably the highlight submission, but that guillotine was just pure brain dead. Like, it was kind of almost MMA 101. Like, it was a really, really, really easy submission. It won me, I think, 50 quid at the time because he was 4-1. So, you know what, big up Anthony Smith. But if you're being realistic about this fight, it's going to be Dominic Reyes. You know, I'd say there's no odds on the finish here because it's probably expected. 1-3. It's two lads that will realistically go for it. As again, Dominic Reyes is in the best ACA and the safest ACA of the week. I'm going to say Dominic Reyes. Won't say any finishes. Won't say anything. I'm just going to say Dominic Reyes. Then we push into the main card where we go with Nate the Train versus Do Hun Choi. Korean Superboy. Again, he went off for the military training. That's where he was gone. He beat Bill Aljo with a good finish. Went with Kyle Nelson for a draw. Lost Charles Red. These are all 4 years ago. He went on the military service. We have to go 4 years. So there's nothing really to say. Again, Nate the Train. He has had some really, really good fights. He only lost to Dan Ige. That's a respectable loss. He was definitely in that fight as well. Beat Ludwig Klein, David Omama, Austin Lingo. And realistically beat Jamel Enders. It's not bad. Looking at the odds of the fight, it's kind of a coin flip again. If I was to go with it, I'd actually say the Korean Super Boy wins it. I've always been high on Doi Hoi Choi. I think he could genuinely win it at 10 to 11. I won't say there'd be a finish or anything. I'm just going to say Doi Hoi Choi wins it 10 to 11. I think that's, or 11 to 10, maybe. I think that's the best sort of bet. There's no point in me talking about the Bryce Mitchell fight. There's one way that Bryce Mitchell can lose this fight. This should be an easy decision to get him back in. Again, he took one of the worst knockouts I've ever seen in the sport. Like, that man genuinely got fucking flatlined. I thought he was going to just be stuck in a coma. In all honesty, I thought he was going to be stuck in a coma and will not be alive. But, you know, he got absolutely fucking battered. So, if you're being realistic with it, there is only really one way he loses this. If he knocks down Gracie, or Gracie pulls guard and he jumps into the guard. Very, very likely Bryce Mitchell could do that because, again, he's a good fighter, but very low IQ when it comes to fighting. If he jumps into the guard, Coin Gracie will submit him. He will, because, again, this is the one thing the Gracies all fucking know. But if you're being realistic, Bryce Mitchell should win this. I don't see much point of really talking about this. 4 to 7 for the decision, fine. Bryce Mitchell to win. I'm not touching this with 7-foot pole. There's no genuine point, because I know if I touch this, or if I do tip this fully, Bryce Mitchell will just lose somehow. So, not touching it. This is a fight I'm just not backing. I'm staying away from it. There's no point. On to the next one. Cyril Gane versus Volkov. I think Volkov wins this. I will say this is my pick of the week. This is my underdog of the week. I genuinely think Volkov at 11 to 4 is fucking criminal. I don't understand how he loses to Cyril Gane. He's the better striker, better on the outside, better grappling, better submission, everything. I just don't get it because, again, Cyril Gane's 12 and 2 and he's only lost to, you know, the best of the best. Fair enough, right, fine. There's no issue to that. But, you know, he's only come back and beaten Cyril Spivak. He lost to Jones, he beat Taito Ivasa, lost to Ganu, and beat Derklus. It's a very, very short span. When you look at Volkov, who he beat the Russian Terminator. Now, that was a very poor fight from both sides. It was a smart game plan for Volkov to strike from the outside and hit him because, you know, he's 6'8", or 6'7", but, you know, it's not very good that he didn't go for it. He beat Taito Ivasa, he beat Romanov, and he beat Biggie Boy. His only loss is to Tom Aspinall, and look, that's completely fair enough loss. The real champion of the heavyweight division. There is no argument to losing to the real champion of the heavyweight division. I can't see a way where Gane wins this. I can't. I think 11 to 4 is fucking criminal. That is going to be my underdog of the week, and I'm going to throw €20 on this tomorrow. That is just 100% going to land. There's no point of really arguing it. Then we go down to Shavkat. Now, I would like to say that there's a chance that Ian Garry wins this, and I'd like to give a chance that Ian Garry wins this, blah, blah, blah. I'm Irish. I would love to see him lose. I'm just going to be realistic. I hate Ian Garry. I'd really love to see him lose. I don't think I'm going to have to say that I love to see him lose. He is going to lose. You don't beat Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's 18-0, all finishes. Shavkat's just the man. You know, he's the boogeyman of the division. He's going to walk straight through him. I'd say, though, to be honest, he won't finish Ian Garry. I don't think he'll finish him on the feet. I think he'll submit him, though. At 15-8, the submission, great. Like, you look at the double chance, 23 to 10. No distance, 4 to 11. These are all great bets. It's Shavkat any day of the week. I don't need to say why. Shavkat's just going to run through him. And then we get to the main card, the main event. The main event is one of the more curious ones, because I know no one likes Pantoja. I do think he lost the Steve Ercek fight. I thought Steve Ercek took trade. It was 3-2 Steve Ercek, but look, he beat Brandon Rival easily enough. Beat Brandon Moreno. You know, he's beaten likable guys, and he's not a very likable champion. Alex Perez and Brandon Rival again. Kaya Sakura is coming from Japan. I won't lie to you, I don't know a lot about Ryzen. I haven't really watched Ryzen. I've seen his finishes, and they do look deadly, but a lot of them are knees to the body and knees to the head, which, okay, like, he clearly has power for his division, but I'm not sure about him being able to hold up the wrestling. He clearly has a striking advantage, obviously, but the wrestling, that's Pantoja's. That's, you know, Pantoja's kind of playground. If I was to go with it, I want to go bold, and a Kaisa Sakura 2-1. I don't see why not backing that, personally. I want to say that he's going to win it, to be honest, in his debut. It just kind of seems perfect. I want to say he's going to win it, but by using my brain, it's It's probably gonna be a Pantoja submission, something along those lines, after quite a close fight. Over 3.5 or 5 to 4 is something that's kind of catching my eye. To be honest, I think that could be very likely. Very, very likely, but I won't say that's going to land. I'm just going to say that's very likely. I'm not going to say it's going to land, though. That's all I'm going to say, and I think that's going to be it. I don't have anything else to say, realistically. I thought I'd just come on here quickly and break down most of it. We've been live for 26, we've been live for 26 minutes. I'll try to push this just to 30. So just to point out what I'm thinking will land, just to show the best ACA of the week. In my opinion, the safest ACA is that right there. 1.7, you get the boost on Betway, or sorry, Bet365. I will look around at other apps, and I will use other apps. I just think that this one's the most kind of obtainable towards. I should probably shut up the bet on odds. Oops, whatever. Right. Let me just go check out my odds for a minute. So, where is the UFC? So as we go to the UFC, let me just check other apps. So if you live in America, I don't, so I don't have a count to most of these, but you could be looking at that best ACA. Like, you could even get 295 on DraftKings. You could get, I think these are all basically the same odds. Like, if you were looking at the best ACA, you could get minus 350 on BetGM for Dominic Reyes, then throw in Akshayev at 265. Realistically, it's going further and further in. You get maybe 250. Actually, that's 230. You get 250. Look, I don't really know American betting odds, so if I am doing this wrong, I'm sorry. I use the normal stuff that we use in Europe. I don't use this minus and all this. But yeah, if you could find them cheap, I'd say that's the best ACA of the week. That's my most confident pick, and that's what I'm going to go for. Anyways, this is all I really want to do with this live stream, is just to share it. I'm going to make a video on this as well, just make it a lot easier. So anyways, if you did enjoy the video, if you did enjoy the live stream, hit the like button. I will make a video on this as well. So right, I'll see you next one. Peace.